clear.
Okay, so my name is Kelly Ware. I teach in the medical lab and medical assisting programs here at York Tech. And like Kawana's group and AOT, we had the challenge of trying to increase our male student enrollment. So we are a limited enrollment program anyway, as most of our healthcare programs are, which some people refer to them as waitlist programs. So we only accept around 19 students each year, each rolling academic year, because of limited clinical sites. So that's what kind of limits our numbers. And there are only 2 instructors in our department. But over the past few years, we've not only seen a decrease in just our overall enrollment, but also with males. We've always historically had around less than 10% males for each year I've been here. So just to kind of review what Megan has talked about in the beginning of our process. Sorry, let me move my little bar out of the way. So we had to identify our goal, what we were trying to accomplish, which in our case is to increase the male enrollment rate in our program medical lab. We looked at the Perkins data and pretty much just enforced what we already knew, that our male enrollment rate was very low. Look at our root causes to figure out why these students aren't enrolling, or hypothesize some ways that, or some reasons they may not be enrolling. And then to test that hypothesis using the action research, which we did through a survey, same survey as Kawana did. We all at York Tech did a collective survey. And then evaluate those results and come up with some interventions. So I'd like to thank Laura Boone and Laura McLean. We worked together for most of this process, and then after we collected our data, we separated and came up with our own strategies. Sorry, my computer was frozen. Okay, so of course, initial investigation of the data showed that our male enrollment was significantly decreased from, I think it went back as far as 2016. I don't have a graphic to show that, but our just overall enrollment has been down. So if we can increase our male enrollment, we would increase our total enrollment. So the hypotheses that we developed, or we wanted to test, that we came up with were males don't participate in our program just because of gender stereotypes. I think some people use classification, but gender stereotypes that are out there towards just men in healthcare in general. Maybe some poor marketing strategies exist that we can improve upon, and then some deficiencies in the admissions or advising processes that impact whether students or male students enroll or not. These are our survey results. These are the same survey results that you just saw with the AOT group from York Tech, but just to show again that it was mostly younger students, mostly females, and then the racial profiles were pretty much African American and white students. And this is exactly what I won't share all this because she just shared all this information. But we then considered some interventional strategies as a group, myself and Laura McLean and Laura Boone. So we came up with maybe coming up with some peer groups that would ensure that our verbiage is inclusive, so that wouldn't be a limiting factor for males enrolling. To educate the people in admissions, new student orientation, and the advising center to get the word out about what our program even is, and maybe then render some testing to see if students would be interested in that or not. If they didn't know that about themselves, that they would be interested in our program. A mentoring program, and then look at marketing strategies. So the strategies that we chose, and I got with my department chair and discussed our findings before coming up, since I was the only one in our program here at York Tech. I wanted her input on what, we thought I conducted the SWOT and the SOAR analysis to determine the strengths and weaknesses of our institution to see what was even feasible as far as interventional strategies. So in the admissions and orientation realm, we said that maybe, updates needed to be given to our admissions team to ensure that our curriculum was lining up with what students' qualifications were. Because this last year, we found that several students were qualified for our program and just didn't know. And so that was a little bit of a deficiency in the admissions area. So I think monthly we decided we will go give a talk to the admissions team and just give them a quick update on the process of getting into our program, because there are several ways to enter our program, and students may not be aware of that, and the admissions may not either. Like I said earlier, they could take a type focus. We call it type focus here at Tech, like a personality assessment to determine their strengths and weaknesses and their interests in a career. And if it aligned with healthcare, maybe what area of healthcare. Trainer orientation guides with the correct information for new students coming in that may just be coming in for general studies, give them more of a depth of information to share with students about some of our programs, instead of just walking them around and kind of pointing out where things were, but maybe give them a little more education of the different programs here at York Tech. And then to encourage faculty that teach in our general education classes to get some diversity training to make sure there are no deficiencies there or biases that are hidden. As far as marketing, I feel like there's a lot of work that can be done in marketing here. We recently, our division has created 3 marketing videos, just short 3-minute videos that highlight select programs. They were just chosen at random, and MLT was one of those programs. So our teleproductions program director came over and shot some video of our students working in the lab. And it was nice. I didn't have any input in that, but it was nice to see that video highlight some of our non-traditional students. So we had males and different racial groups highlighted in the video. And then it just talked about what our program is, because a lot of people just don't even know what our profession is. We're very behind the scenes, and we like it that way. We're introverts by nature. So we like helping people, but we don't like to be seen. And that does not serve us well in marketing. So maybe to promote our program in some of the dual enrollment or Excels program, maybe even reach out to some high schools with some career fairs to highlight our program and bring some demos for them to be aware of what our program is. And then lastly, to maybe get some more York Tech branded clothing just to promote our college to the community. So some of these strategies have been implemented, some are currently being implemented, and some we're going to look at in the future to implement. So there's no real concrete results to report as of yet, but we are going to continue to monitor that and to monitor student feedback through course evaluations. So things I've learned, which was, I love this program. It was great. I learned a lot, and I'm excited to continue to learn in this area. But to include diverse and non-traditional case studies and discoveries by non-traditional role models in our field, to hopefully have students have someone they can identify with in our program, and maybe even have a guest speaker come in that is of a non-traditional role to help students be able to identify. Integrate role models. That's kind of what I said about the role models coming in to speak, maybe, but could mirror successful diversity within the career, so to alleviate some of those gender stereotypes that may exist. And then to build performance assessments that reinforce a growth mindset to show that we value these students, their opinions and their diversity, and that helps enrich our program and just make it better, so they don't feel like, an outcast in any way. All right, that's it. Any questions?